I think we're all people. We have, and it's all depends upon an individual. But I think it's just respect, professional respect, and understanding, and ability to hear each other. And I'm being a Russian, you being the American. You have to hear what I have to say, and I have to hear what you say, and we have to try and find a compromise. I think that's the solution.
And you help then with the communication.
Yes, because sometimes the Americans would say what they want, and I would have to explain to them, you see, this can't happen like this because of the legislation or because of the cultural difference or because of something, but we can do it like that, and that would make you happy, and I think they'll be satisfied.
Aha, cultural difference. What do you think are the main cultural differences that impact business?
Well, it could be the lack of trust. Sometimes I come across that because, and a lot of Russian people think that if you're a foreigner, you have a lot of money and you can just do something free for me, and you have to make them see that it's not like that. The Americans want to make money, and just like you want to make money, but you also have to understand that Russian people have problem trusting, and if you have to pay before you actually get what you're buying, you know, for some people it's hard to do it, and it takes time. But it works out.
Tell us about business. What is it, and how does it work?
Business stands for Business Information Service of the newly independent state, for the newly independent states, and it started operating over 10 years ago, and it serves both the companies of the NIS and the Americans. We're trying to facilitate business contacts, promote export of U.S. goods. We have several programs. We're trying to we're helping Russian companies to find partners in the U.S. We have a program helping Russian companies find goods in the U.S. We're also trying to promote American companies which come to us.
There was a commercial on television a number of years ago, and it featured a Russian woman, slightly dowdy, in a very drab outfit. And the narrator goes on to say, this is the Russian beach wear, this is Russian formal wear, this is Russian evening wear. The point being that there was no consumer culture, everyone looked the same. Is that still the case in Russia?
Yes, and the consumer sector is growing very rapidly. Now, since it's a free economic zone, the whole of Russia, and we can purchase goods from abroad, from any European or American companies, you have all kind of stuff. And Russian women now have swimsuits, and they have evening gowns, and they have everything they want, if they have the money, of course. I would say that mostly, for example, the clothing is imported because there are not that many companies in Russia, large companies like in the US, producing that. So there's the huge share of the consumer goods is imported. And I think that's one of the lands of opportunities for American companies, because at the moment the Europeans and Chinese are trying to beat them because of, first of all, it's geographically closer, and they're more aggressive.
From consumerism, let's go to the role of government. Many Americans understand that the role of government in Russia is very important, particularly in the area of taxation, in the area of the takeover of private enterprises. How important is the role that the government of Samara plays in business?
All those things that you've mentioned, they exist, but I've spoken to a few American companies before this trip, and I've asked them how they deal with taxation and legal system, because there's a lot of the legal system, the laws that exist, they're not always, understandable, and it takes time. Sometimes you go to court and this law is first time exercised in the court. Nobody knows what's going to come out. But all American companies said that when they start working, they always say to any authority or whoever it is, or business partner, they say, we're a clean company, we're going to work like that, and you take it or leave it. And it's usually the American companies, they are looked at more attentively because they pay all taxes, not just American, basically all foreign companies, they pay all taxes. They are transparent. But once they, for example, tax inspection, or one comes in, checks them once and twice, they get the idea that this company is 100% legal, paying all the taxes. I think it becomes easier. And also the local staff that they have is very qualified. The education level in Russia, the higher education level, is very high, and the American and foreign companies invest a lot in training their people. So it's human factor as well.
Marina, we're glad that you are on station there in Samara to be of assistance to U.S. companies, and we certainly appreciate you being with us here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anytime.